Hey friends, welcome back to the Gentleman's Journey. Guys, in this one, I want to talk to you about why I believe every gentleman ought to have a Leatherman. Now guys, when I say Leatherman, I mean Leatherman and not a multi-tool. So friends, we're going to be talking about my new Leatherman Wave Plus, a little bit of the comparison, why I felt I need to get a new one, and then basically just getting into all these tools. 18 in one. We're going to briefly cover different scenarios and how they pack all that into one multi-tool. Now, how did we get here? Of course, friends, if you're new, my name's Charles and this is the Gentleman's Journey. On this channel, I take you guys along with me as I strive to be a better gentleman. And you know, I find products along the way that I'm interested in my own life, and then we bring them out on the channel. So it's largely about boots and leather goods, but we talk about a lot of guy related stuff, and today that's multi-tools. So friends, a couple of videos back, I was looking at this Canyon sheath by Hank's Belts. They sent me out a new belt, and then they sent this sheath along with it. I was talking about this Leatherman and how this could be a good option for it, but that I don't always use a Leatherman on a daily. So that's kind of what got me thinking. And then I follow this guy on Instagram, and I just started looking at some of these Leathermans, and I kind of realized it's time to up my game. So for that, I'm taking you guys along with me. Now friends, check out the sheath that they have. I have it on my backpack here. This is my Camelback bag. I don't always use the Camelback actually, but I throw a Nalgene water bottle on here. We go on daily hikes, guys. I'm at a state park right now, and this thing is with me all the time. So we're constantly hiking, and I have this multi-tool down in the bag here. Friends, I just usually have it tucked in somewhere in there, along with a bunch of other things. If you guys are interested in what I carry, let me know and we can do a video on this bag in the future. But friends, I don't care if I'm hiking or going to the city, even if I want to go check out some museums or something, it doesn't matter. I like to have this bag, guys. Some of the things that I know I carry obviously are a few snacks. When you get hangry, it just ruins everything. So friends, I like to be prepared, but I wanted to show you this holster. So obviously I have this. I'll drop a link to the Hanks one. You guys can check out. I love their belts. Got 2 videos on them, but you can check out that. This one here attaches to that MOLLE system. So on the back of my bag here, I can have it there. I don't think the look is terrible. I think if my bag was ultra full, I could see putting it on there, but I'll probably still tuck it inside. This is undoubtedly where the Leatherman's gonna live, because with 18 tools in one, well, whether you're on the trail or going through the city, stuff comes up, and I like to be prepared. I like to tell you guys right out the gate, whether I bought it or not, I did buy this tool, that you can certainly go lower. Now, the reason I say not just a Leatherman, not just a multi-tool, but a Leatherman, because this one hasn't really failed me. It has its shortcomings, don't get me wrong, that's why I'm upgrading, but I've had a bunch of multi-tools, and whether I've gotten them given to me or I've, you know, sprung 20-40 bucks on them, often they just break. And when I'm out somewhere, whatever I have on me is extra weight, so I'm carrying it, and I want to know that I'm bringing it for a reason. I don't like tools failing me. It's just something that I don't stand for, and I certainly wouldn't be telling you guys about products that I don't care about. So I did buy this guy, and it's kind of their mid-range. So friends, you can go a lot higher. They got some custom options. They got some really cool ones. Again, follow a couple of guys on Instagram and you'll be convincing yourself you need one too. Kind of the run-of-the-mill, and this is in terms of price point, and this, guys, is their #1 selling multi-tool. Now, not only for Leatherman, but it's the #1 seller in the world. So for me, needing it casual use, I would say, you know, this guy is gonna work perfect for me, and I can see why it's the #1 selling. They offer this one in the chrome as well. I went black because, again, with my bag, you know, it's more of a vibe thing than any type of characteristics. I am a bit of a classic guy, so I already wonder if I shouldn't have gone with the chrome, because I like the vintage, I like the classic look. At any rate, I also like this style. So let's get into some of the benefits of this new tool as opposed to my old one. So friends, again, I will have the link to these in the description, but this came in at $119 right now for me. So again, there's different price points all across the map with Leatherman, but this one seems to have everything I was looking for. It kind of ticked all the boxes. Now in terms of this sheath here, this one is a 5-inch sheath, so if that's something that y'all are thinking about, I do want to say that their 4-inch would probably fit it good. So you'll see here that there's just a little bit of room in there. So this is a really good fit for it. I think you could squeeze the 4-inch sheath, especially if you were going for this old school one here. Check out how small that is. It kind of fits in there wobbly. So here's the other holster that actually came with it. It's a Velcro, and it has a little pocket inside there that you can slip some extra tool like Phillips tips and stuff like that. So that's a nice Velcro. And again, here's that Molly system, but you don't have to use that on Molly. You can just sort that through there, feed this through the bottom one, and now you're good to go just for your normal belt. So you can use that on your belt. I'm gonna keep it in this and then have it in the bag. But if you don't want a holster option at all, what you can do is you can actually get an extra piece that you can have a clip, and then you can have it on your belt clip. So you can actually carry this in your pocket just like you would a regular knife. If you guys haven't checked back the channel and saw the review on this Cold Steel 8010, you definitely recommend that y'all check that out. But again, that's my everyday carry right now, just a knife and not the Leatherman, but you can turn this into everyday carry with that. So without doing a full side-by-side, we'll focus on the different aspects of this guy and all those 18 tools. But one of the first things was, see, this gave out. It doesn't, when you open the plier, it's supposed to open, and so this guy gave out. Not that it broke, like I've had some just break, so I have to kind of pry that open. And then something with this older version that a lot of folks will be familiar with is how this part hurts your hand when you're using it. So that you have the really rough edge right there. So they've totally fixed that and inverted this and added a lot, I would say a lot more quality components to this. So quickly running through it, one of the first things is you have the needle nose pliers. Beyond that, you have another set of pliers here that are for grabbing bigger stuff. And then down the middle, you have your wire cutter, and then you have a hard wire cutter. So there's actually two different cutters here, and those are replaceable. So you got the screw there, and then that way you can go ahead and replace these when they get dull. So you're out there jacking around and dull it up. And so that's an improvement on this guy, because that only had, well, it had needle nose and it had the regular big pliers, but then it only had one set of cutters. And of course that's not replaceable. That's the entire tool. So when that goes dead, your multi-tool is done. So I'm not actually a big fan of multi stuff. I prefer like one set of pliers, or when I was doing barbed wire fencing, you got a good set of pliers. It's another like 5-in-1, but it's that one thing, so when it goes dead, it's kind of all goes out. That's why I like my knife separate. But that's, for me, this guy stays in the pack. Back here, friends, on the back end, right in here is actually going to be a wire crimper. So if you're doing the plastic wire crimps, you can put it in there and crimp the plastic wire crimper. So that's another tool down inside there. Let's close this again and I'll show you some of the knives. So the main one, you know, your main pocket knife, this is going to be the 420 HC knife, and so it's kind of a run-of-the-mill mid-grade knife quality. Again, this Cold Steel blade's going to be a little bit better quality steel, if you will, but for a multi-tool, it's a good, very sharp blade. And if y'all want to know how I sharpen my knives, I use this guy here, the Falkniven C4 sharpener. So without doing a full review on this, it has two different sides. Y'all have seen this in different videos. I'll drop a link to that and this and everything here, including my knife there. But this is all meant to be one-handed, so you can open it and then close it one-handed. So that's a knife there. And then on the other side here is another knife that you might pull out if you want to cut rope or something on the lines of that. So all this can be used from the outside, where my old one, you know, you got to open that sucker up. It does have kind of a little hidden lanyard hole that you can actually, let's see, I'll just tuck that away. So see, now it's gone, but it has a little hidden lanyard hole in there. A couple other knives, let's see, we did that guy, is the saw. So everything locks. So you heard that lock, and that one there, you can rip through quite a bit of wood if you're out. That's why this is one of the reasons why I carry the multi-tool. So check out that nice saw. If I'm out here in the woods and I need to make a fire or something, I can make that happen. Again, it has a file, so a diamond tip, then kind of a rasp type file on there. And there's, I guess, you know, I could use a diamond tip to sharpen this knife if I had to. You can't sharpen the knife on here with that because it's attached, but at any rate, there's some of the outside tools. So really neat how they think of that and just the engineering there. And then of course, when you open it, these grips are so smooth. Another tool there that they add on that I always thought was a little dorky is just the measuring tape. Again, with black, it's really hard for me to see the measuring tape. I don't know, you can get kind of close on something, I suppose. Now, kind of a pro tip, if you will, for what I think y'all should do when you want to start accessing everything. I first pull out the Phillips. Now, the Phillips is removable, and then it becomes a flat tip. The reason I pull that out first is because mine, I don't know if it needs more oiling or what, but mine seems to be where it's hard to get some of the tools out. So I cheat and I pull that out. This guy here has more tools. There's a wire stripper down in there, a bottle opener, and a can opener, all on this guy. Hopefully you don't have to open your canned goods with something like this. A bottle opener, sure, but maybe at least you have it. So that's what's on this side, is the Phillips and the flat tip. And then of course you have that bottle opener. So we'll go ahead and close this guy. On the back, everything's locking, and you have a lock release right there. You can hear that click. Of course, on the old one, stuff, and they started working in locking mechanism. You'll see right here, that's a bit of a locker, but it's so loose, like it's like a half locking mechanism. So let's go over to the other side here, and this is where I'm gonna cheat and use this flat tip to start getting some of that stuff out. Well, this guy isn't. So the scissors on here actually aren't that bad to get out. So they come springboarding out, and now you have a good set of scissors, and that will lock all in itself. So now you can use that if you want, just as its own little tool. I watched a guy that says that's his favorite tool on here. For me, it seems like I haven't thought of a lot of occasions that I would need something like this. So I guess it's each to their own. Let me know in the comments which part you guys like best. But, and guys, I have big old fingernails and I still hurts too much to open these. So let me know what kind of lubricant you guys would put in there. I might just use some 3-in-1 oil, but you can see some on there now, shiny, but still certainly hard for me to get out. So you got these guys, and I will try to tuck those. Again, you're gonna fold that back and tuck those in, and now you got yourself a really big flat tip, which there's not a lot of flat tip, you know, screws around these days, but you can open a can of paint. You're on a project and you show up and you can open up a can of paint. So we can close that guy, and then this is a really tiny little screwdriver here. So you have a flat tip, and that'll be kind of hard to see, a flat tip on that side, and then a Phillips over here, really tiny. So basically your eyeglasses and stuff like that. So there's so many times where you could be the guy in the room who will save the day because you have the tool to fix whatever's going on. So friends, there it is. There's a bunch of the different tools, you know, 18-in-1. I don't know if we covered each and every one of them. If someone was counting, let me know which one I missed, but as you use the tool over the years, you start finding different situations. You know, there's all kinds of folks, whether you have a regular construction job or you're a police or firefighter. I mean, I think any and every gentleman ought to have one of these pretty handy. So I have this bag near me. Most times when I go out the door, I like to have that for a lot of different situations. So I don't say every day I have a multi-tool, but I have one pretty close to me all the time. I sure would not want to replace this for like a general set of pliers. If you're using a set of pliers every day, obviously go for those and keep this for the occasional use. There's no point in wearing down a Leatherman if all you need is a set of pliers. But friends, out on the trail, if you find yourself in some situation or you need some kind of first aid, I've did a lot of search and rescue training and wildland firefighter training. You know, a tool like this when you're out there can help in so many different situations, from fire making with a knife and with a little saw. But anytime you're walking a fence line or something, a guy always can find a little bit of barbed wire without even cutting out some of the fence. Because I used to actually put up barbed wire fencing, and you might make a repair or you might finish off a run and you clip some excess off and you actually leave it there. Not that you're trying to waste or litter, but what happens is a guy might be coming along 10 years later and be trying to repair a fence, or he might be running cattle or sheep or something, and he'll see a spot that's broken in the fence line. Well, he knows that you can run along pretty much any fence in America and find some scraps that someone's left behind at a prior time, and that way you can make a quick fence repair. So who knows what you might use that for, but you can find some baling wire and do some kind of repair on your truck. I mean, I think I had something hanging down once. Grab my pliers, wrap some baling wire, and just hold something up. So I'm not going to bore you guys with all the different scenarios that a gentleman can use these for, but this is the kind of gentleman I aim to be. A guy who, you know, that old dad who you're opening up, it's that GIF, if you will, that meme of Christmas morning, you're opening up gifts and all of a sudden no one has a knife, and so you see the dad run across the room and there he is, you know, ready with that knife. So I think that's the guy I aim to be, someone who's productive and useful and beneficial to all those around me, and I think a multi-tool helps to make that happen. So guys, let me know what you think. I'm gonna drop a link to all this stuff in the description. We got a lot of fun stuff just like this coming out on the channel. We've done a lot of good stuff. We've covered some of these products, so you know, check back the channel. If you've just come on to the Gentleman's Journey for this video, I encourage you to check back some of our stuff. We got a bunch of neat boots coming in the future, all kinds of stuff for 2024. Enough that I'm convinced you should subscribe and stick around for all this. Now friends, another big thing that we got coming is we're gonna be doing hats. So see my hat there? We're gonna be offering this hat soon. It's gonna be coming out in like a month and a half. So this is Go On. So that's one of our brands, if you will. It's our ministry. We have a ministry and a whole nother YouTube channel called Go On Ministries. I'll drop a link to it at the end of the video, but we're gonna be selling these hats for 40 bucks. The reason we're selling them for 40 is because it's a fundraiser. So every hat that we sell, we can give out 8 Bibles. So if you guys have been following the channel, sometimes we'll talk about scriptures and we'll go through some of my life and how I think pursuing a relationship with God makes you a lot better gentleman, makes you the ultimate gentleman, if you will. And so through that, we have a ministry and we like to give out Bibles wherever we are. Again, I'm at a state park right now. We travel a lot. We travel full time right now. And wherever we are, we're giving out Bibles. If that's something that y'all want to partner with, if you guys want to pre-order a hat just like this, same color with our Go On patch, it has Mark 16:15 on there. We would love for you guys to go ahead and pre-order. You can email me and we'll get you signed up for a hat coming probably in June. So let me know if that's something you'd love to support. Getting this hat would provide about 8 Bibles to people at the price point that we're buying the Bibles. So let me know if you guys are on board with that. You can message me. I'll drop my email in the description and you guys can get connected with that. So guys, don't forget to give your boots some love from time to time, and don't forget to oil your Leatherman from time to time, and we'll catch you in the next one.